Well, good morning. And welcome to the First Church of Lancaster. Whoever you are, wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. Please take a moment at this time to silence your cell phones and allow other distractions to sit patiently outside as we come together in a spirit of youth and exploration. I am so pleased to have our Youth Sunday finally arrived. I know that Miss Susan has been working on this. She put so much loving thought and effort into this service, and I'm so glad the day has finally arrived. Please join us next Sunday for a Mother's Day service entitled Held in the Web, Mother's Day and the Seventh Principle. More details about this service can be found in your order of service. Also, our Spring New Member Sunday and annual meeting is coming up May 17th. All those who are considering becoming a voting member of First Church will be invited forward on that Sunday for a brief ceremony during the service, and then may vote at the annual meeting following the service. Please see me if you're interested in becoming a voting member. One of the things that I like to do when people are thinking about becoming a member is I like to just meet with you before or after the New Member Sunday, just so I get a sense of who you are spiritually, what your history is, what you are fascinated by, so that everything that you are is also represented from this spot, because this is a pulpit of all of us, not just me. It's just my job to make sure that you are reflected from here. So please have a careful look at the other announcements in your order of service. And are there any additional announcements? Seriously, that can't be the case. Well, I'm going to say something. Since Wynn is unusually silent this morning after yesterday's busy event, I'm going to say what a wonderful, remarkable thing it is that the bee run yesterday did such a good job, especially considering that the rain was threatening at any minute, but it actually, the order that I put into the heavens followed through, and the rain held off. It ended not long before the setup began and started up again pretty much after everybody had gone home, so it was kind of perfect. One of the things, I texted Emily and Wynn about this yesterday. They are the main event planners for this and then have the support of lots of the members here. But I texted them to say, you guys make this look so effortless, which is proof of how much effort goes into it, really. And so I would just like for us all to thank Emily and Wynn in particular for their wonderful work. Because trust me, if it all looked easy and simple to you yesterday, that's just a testament to how much effort and thought and planning really goes into it. So before we begin today's service in earnest, however, I wanted to draw your attention to an important anniversary. Yesterday, many in this community took to the roads and trails, running, walking, breathing together in the spring air. We followed paths that wind through a town with a long memory, a land that has held many lives, many stories, some joyful, some painful, all real. But also, exactly 350 years ago yesterday, on May 2nd, 1676, Mary Rowlandson, the wife of our congregation's first minister, was redeemed by a ransom that was raised by subscription by a number of women in Boston and was returned to the surviving members of her family after her time of great suffering. So Mary Rowlandson was redeemed exactly 350 years ago yesterday. Her story became one of the first widely read books in this colony 100 years before it became a country of our own. Her book was also published and sold throughout Europe. But it was not the only story then, and it is not the only story now. This land also remembers the lives and presence of the Nipmuc people, whose relationship with this place stretches far beyond written history. And so today we gather not only to remember, but to continue, because this morning belongs in a special way to our young people, to those who are still becoming, to those who are learning how to listen, to those who will carry forward the story of this place in ways we cannot yet imagine. So if yesterday we moved across the land, today we gather upon it. More still, perhaps more attentive, so let us arrive fully. Let us listen for what is beneath our feet and within our hearts. Let us make space for new voices, new wisdom, new ways of being together. For we are on land that belonged to people who created a reality of resistance to things that were oppressing them. And that is a voice that continues in its own way. So let us begin, grateful for the many voices that have brought us here. Grateful for the redemption of Mary Rowlandson from her captivity. And hopeful for the stories that are still being written. So now I invite forward our littlest for our first chalice lighting. You guys ready?
Wait.
Here, how about we do this? Let me do this so that we can all hear you. There we go. Okay, go for it.
We light this chalice as
You're good.
celebration of Unitarian and Universalism. Open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands.
Good job, good job.
We come from many places along different paths, bringing different truths. We come with different histories and different realities, and yet we come together as one people. May our lit chalice remind us that we are a people taught by different stories with many voices, but always one people working for a world where love creates justice. Please join me in the responsive reading for the Vigil Candle for those living in uncertainty and the unison opening prayer, both of which can be found in your order of service. We remember those who walk uncertain roads.
May they find safety and strength.
We remember families separated by policy and fear.
May they be held in love.
We remember that we too are the descendants of travelers.
May we be the people of welcome.
And now for our unison opening prayer. Spirit of life, known by many names and present in every corner of the world, we gather this morning as one human family, led today by the voices of our youth. From many traditions we come, from many stories we are shaped, from many paths we arrive. Teach us to listen with open hearts. Teach us to speak with kindness. Teach us to wonder without fear. May we see wisdom wherever it appears, in sacred texts and in living voices, in ancient practices and new perspectives. In the questions of our youth are brave enough to ask. Help us to honor what is different without losing sight of what we share. And may this time together open our hearts, expand our minds, and deepen our care for the world. Amen. Please join me in the reading of our covenant found in your order of service. Love is the doctrine and spirit of this church. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, to help one another and seek connection consciously, to encourage spiritual growth in our children, youth, and adults, to serve the community beyond our walls, to the end that all souls grow in harmony. Thus do we covenant together. Is there peace somewhere within us?
Yes, let us claim it.
Is there peace somewhere between us?
Yes, let us share it.
Is there peace somewhere in the world?
Yes, let us live it.
As we consider the places in our lives and world where greater peace is needed, let us offer one another a sign or a word of peace and welcome. Peace be with you all. Peace. Wonderful. You may be seated. And for those who would like to say it, we'll now recite the interfaith version of the Lord's Prayer found in your order of service. Source of life, known by many names, holy is your presence. May your way of compassion come. May your will for wholeness be done, on earth as in the deepest truth of all that is. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our missteps, as we forgive those who have harmed us. Lead us not into confusion, but deliver us from harm. For the power and the love and the mystery are yours, now and forever. Amen. So our poem today is called 10 Mil... Oh wait, I'm not reading this poem. You guys ready? Like this. I almost read your poem for you. Want to step right up there? Okay, there you go. It's good.
Yeah, you sure? Mm-hmm. Testing? Okay, it works. Inside each raindrop swims the sun. Inside each flower breathes the moon. Inside me dwells 10 million stars, one for each of my ancestors. The elk, the raven, the mouse, the human, the flower, the coyote, the lion, the fish. 10 million different stars am I, but only one spirit connecting all.
Good job. All right. Ready?
Madeline and Thea, Giselle,
I hope you enjoy this bit.
Giselle's not with us this morning, so I will play her part. At the core, the word Zen simply means meditation. In our classes, we've been exploring Zen through a series of short stories told by a panda. These tales teach us the beauty of simple living, the peace found in accepting life exactly as it is, and the importance of helping others without expecting anything in return.
But perhaps the most powerful lesson is this: learning not to disrupt your present happiness with the weight of past thoughts. That is the focus of the story we prepared for you this morning. Two traveling monks reached a town where there was a young woman waiting to step out of her seat and chair. The rains had made deep puddles, and she couldn't step across without spoiling her silken robes. She stood there, looking very angry and impatient. She was scolding her attendants, who couldn't help her across the puddle. The younger monk noticed the woman, said nothing, and walked by. The older monk quickly picked her up, transported her across the water, and put her down on the other side. She didn't thank the older monk, she just shoved him out of the way and departed. As they continued on their way, the young monk was brooding and preoccupied. After several hours, unable to hold his silence, he spoke out. "That woman back there was very selfish and rude, but you picked her up on your back and carried her. Then she didn't even thank you." "I set the woman down hours ago," the older monk replied. "Why are you still carrying her?"
If you're carrying a heavy burden today and feel ready to let it go, we invite you to take the water-soluble paper found in your order of service and write down your worry, frustration, angry feelings, or anything you wish to release.
After the service, bring your paper to the bowl of water in the hall located on the table near the art exhibit. Place the paper in the water and watch those heavy thoughts symbolically wash away.
Good job.
Good morning. As Unitarian Universalists, we are intentional in turning to a diversity of sources as we seek to discover our own spiritual beliefs and make a meaning in our lives. To support this, guest speakers visited our classroom to share their childhood religious beliefs and traditions, providing first-hand insights into Judaism, Catholicism, and Sufism. Oh, I said that wrong. Additionally, an archaeologist shared ancient artifacts from Israel, some dated back to the time of Abraham. These sessions allowed students, including myself, to engage in interfaith dialogue and explore specific interest in depth. As part of this year's program, students visited St. John's Catholic Church in Clinton. I would like to share some of my thoughts with you this morning. I felt that the overall experience felt quite different from our own. I immediately noticed that the church was fancy, filled with stunning stained glass and paintings. While I couldn't see the choir, they sound truly angelic. However, I also noticed that the atmosphere felt structured. There was repetitive nature to the service, standing, kneeling, sitting, and repeating the same themes in prayers and hymns. The focus that Sunday felt heavily weighted towards sin and forgiveness of sin. It often felt like the message was about what you were doing wrong, a don't do approach. In contrast, as our Unitarian Universalist tradition is much more open regarding beliefs about God. Instead of focusing on sin, our focus is on spreading peace, love, and respect. Our services are about empowerment, what you can do rather than what you cannot. Please keep in mind I only attended one Mass, so these are just my initial one-time observations. I also found that in the Catholic Church, the service is largely about listening to the priest, who is often called Father. and is viewed as a higher authority. In our church, it's easier to be a direct part of the service. More people participate, and our minister is seen more as a friend than an authority figure. Furthermore, without knowing the rules of when to kneel and pray, it is hard to know what is going on. Though I understand these rituals are taught to Catholic children from a very young age, making it easier for them as they grow. Ultimately, I found the Catholic Mass to be more formal and inward focused on theological ritual. In contrast, I found our church community is about open participation and acting on our shared values. Hazel, would you like to share your thoughts about your visit to the Shaker Museum, the Shaker Holy Hill worship site, and the cemetery?
Thank you, Danny. Good morning. This year, some of us took a field trip to the Shaker Museum in Harvard. We hiked up the Holy Hill of Zion and ended our day at the Shaker Cemetery. The Shakers were led by a strong woman named Ann Lee, also known as Mother Ann. She came from a Quaker background, but broke away to establish the Shakers, mostly because she believed in full gender equality at a time when women had almost no rights. She even taught that God was both male and female. Our tour guide told us that Shakers treated everyone with equal respect, similar to Unitarian Universalists, with women holding leadership roles just as men do. One of the most moving parts of the trip was the Shaker Cemetery. In 1879, the Shakers in Harvard replaced traditional gravestones with lollipop-shaped cast iron markers. This made them easier to maintain while keeping the grave sites unadorned, uniform, and simple, showing equality, even in death. I also noticed that many Shakers lived into their 90s because the community took such great care of their elderly members. The Shakers were often treated unfairly by their neighbors. People thought they were strange because they didn't have traditional families. The Shakers believed the world might end soon, so they didn't want to bring children into this world to face this horrible fate. Instead, they took in orphans and gave them a safe home and good education. When those children grew up, they were free to stay or leave and follow their own path. People also made fun of the way the Shakers prayed, calling them witches or wizards. Of course, as Unitarians, we are more curious about witches and wizards than we are about judging them. The Shakers' worship style was expressed with dancing, spinning, singing to shake off the bad energy and sin. They even started their services out by stomping loudly to wake up the earth and stomp out evil, like this. I think I saw old-fashioned writing carved into a tree. It might have been from a Shaker living there over 100 years ago. It was such an interesting experience for me to learn about such a different way of living and worshiping, a community that prioritized equality, communal work, and spiritual passion. It seemed that the Shakers had a long-lasting, loving community.
Luke, I can't help but wonder what role does culture play in shaping how we understand other religions?
Religion and culture are fundamentally intertwined. They operate in a cycle of mutual influence, where religion provides the moral values that shape a culture, and culture provides the medium through which those religious beliefs are lived out. In short, religion is a system of belief, while culture is the way that we practice those beliefs. With that, I would like to share an excerpt of a sermon by Reverend Dr. Patrick T. O'Neill called "And How Are the Children?" Among the most accomplished and fabled tribes of Africa, no tribe was considered to have warriors more fearsome or more intelligent than the mighty Maasai. It is perhaps surprising then to learn that the traditional greeting between the Maasai warriors, Kasirya Ngura, means, "And how are the children?" It is still the traditional greeting among the Maasai, acknowledging the high value that the Maasai always place on their children's well-being. Even warriors with no children of their own would always give the traditional response, "All the children are well," meaning, of course, that peace and safety prevail, that priorities of protecting the young and powerless are in place, that Maasai society has not forgotten its reason for being, its proper functions and responsibilities. "All the children are well" means that life is good. It means that the daily struggles of existence, even among a poor people, do not preclude proper caring for its young people. I wonder how it might affect our consciousness of our own children's welfare if in our culture we took to greeting each other with this same daily question, "And how are the children?" I wonder if we heard that question and passed it along to each other a dozen times a day, if it would begin to make a difference in a reality of how children are thought of or cared for in the country.
I wonder if every adult among us, parent and non-parent alike, felt an equal weight for the daily care and protection of all the children in our town, in our state, in our country. I wonder if we could truly say without any hesitation, "The children are well." Yes, all the children are well.
What would it be like if the mayor began every press conference or every public appearance by answering the question, "And how are the children, Mr. Mayor?"
If every governor of every state had to answer the same question at every press conference, "And how are the children, Governor?"
If every town leader had to answer the question at the beginning of every meeting, "And how are the children? Are they all well?" Wouldn't it be interesting to hear their answers? What would it be like, I wonder?
And I wonder, what would it be like if I asked the minister of our church, "How are the children, Reverend Will?" I already know the answer to that question. Under your watch, the children are well. The First Church children feel valued, heard, and safe.
And loved.
Thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful day. Sometimes life is good, but then trouble comes my way. Whatever happens, Lord, I thank you for this day. And when I'm feeling trouble, I lift my hand and pray that your will be done in the rain or beautiful day. I don't wanna act too high and mighty, 'cause tomorrow I may fall down on my face. Lord, thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Lord, thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. I give thanks when I'm feeling lonely. I give thanks when I'm feeling glad. I give thanks in the morning, I give thanks in the evening, I give thanks when I'm feeling sad. I don't wanna act too high and mighty, 'cause tomorrow I may fall down on my face. Lord, thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Lord, thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
It sure is a beautiful day. You can't beat that. My name is Susan Berkowitz, and I'm the Director of Religious Education here at First Church. And before we begin our volunteer dedication, I just want to take a moment to thank the kids for that wonderful service, for those who participated, and for also those kids who attended. And we're all proud of you, so pat yourself on the back because you did a great job. I say this every year, it takes a village. And this morning, I want to recognize that specific village that it takes to run this religious education program. Every spring, I meet with the RE committee to plan for the next year. And we start by putting a list of our students right in the center of the table so we know exactly who we are serving. And then we build our curriculum and our classes around those needs. Throughout the year, this team manages every detail, every adjustment, and we make a lot of pivots throughout the year and special events. I would like to specifically thank Sharon Pock and Joan Ogden, who are often on the schedule to teach and aid on Sunday mornings, and also Jessica Fish, who jumps in for special events. I truly cannot thank you enough for sticking with it and for putting up with my catching you on the fly on Sunday mornings with really important questions that we have to discuss, as well as other questions like what color paper should I use for this project, or how many pizzas should I get for the kids? And you always give me an answer, and that's what I like. So thank you so much for that. Ashley. Please stand, Joan and Sharon. That's for Joan. Way back again. This is for Sharon Park. She's right there up front. Right there, like right there. I'd also like to recognize John Ross, along with his daughter and son-in-law, Peter and Erin, built and donated those fantastic shadow boxes featured in our youth art exhibit that's in the hall. And please make sure that you check them all out during coffee hour, because the kids did a really great job. So thank you for that, John. Please stand, John. Bring that to John, please. Here, that's a heavy one. That's for John's daughter and his son-in-law. Now I would like to recognize our dedicated teachers and aides. As I call your name, please stand. Danielle, Richard, and Rebecca, she's on Zoom. Thanks, Rebecca. Rebecca signs up to teach the youth every year, but anytime I need her, she just shows up for little kids, childcare, whatever I need her for. So thanks, Rebecca. Melinda Baxter. Hope Rideout's not here this morning, but also Donna Jarvis, who made mint candy in the kitchen with me to celebrate, or it was related to a class on Hinduism. So I was making coconut laddu with a class, and she was in the kitchen at the same time. A lot of kids in the kitchen that day, Donna.
It was a fun day.
She's standing up, right over there. Ashley, we need gifts for Danielle and for Melinda. Thank you, Ashley. And for Melinda. Hers is over there. And this gift I'm giving to Ashley because she aids the classes, the beginner group, and she always helps out in childcare as well. And she's ready to actually teach classes. So I'm going to start giving her lesson plans for next year. So Ashley, that's for you. We were lucky this year to have several guest speakers who shared their childhood traditions and religious experiences. So thank you, Kerry Sullivan, please stand. And thank you, Andrew Berkowitz, who's on Zoom, my husband, shared on Judaism. Fred Colson, and also shared on Catholicism. Robert Nemeth, I don't know if you're here this morning, somewhere he shared on Sufism. And Todd Sander, who is an archaeologist, brought some ancient artifacts in from Israel for our kids. So Ashley, please. They're figuring it out. Here's for Todd. That's for Todd, standing right there. This is for Robert. I don't see him this morning. And this is for Kerry. She's right over there in the red. And this is for Fred. There you go. Is Linnea here this morning? Linnea. She made new costumes for Mary for our Christmas pageant and beautiful halos for the angels. So Linnea, please stand. Go ahead and during rehearsals, and our rehearsals can be very hectic, Emily Taylor helped out, so stand, Emily. And Wynn Clark, too, I heard was on glitter duty and took the kids outside in the freezing cold to do glitter. Thank you, Wynn. So stand, please. Okay, that's there you go. And then- Wynn also led the seedling project with the kids this year, and the kids raised $184. So thank you for that, Wynn. And we're grateful. One of the things I like the most that Wynn does for the kids is he mows the pollination station. He mows paths. So the kids can go walking through those paths to collect flowers. And I even keep a special pair of boots in the classroom so that I can go out with them just in case they need to step outside of the path in the tall grass to get a particular flower. So I really do appreciate everything you do for the kids. We also appreciate Erica Schiffer and her mother Heather. Erica, you're here someplace, yeah, and your mom Heather for helping out during Christmas pageant. And Heather also joined me on a trip to the Catholic Church. So she helped out with attending that, her mom. So make sure Erica's mom gets a plant too. Heather Clark Sokol attended the Shaker Museum with us, took the kids on a hike. So please make sure Heather gets a plant. She's right here, Thea. And I have to thank Reverend Will. In particular, I am thanking you today for the stained glass project could have easily been a hands-off for the kids. And it was most definitely a hands-on for our kids. Will, you warmly welcome them to help. And these kids, they learned how to, last spring, they were cutting glass and grinding glass. And the little tiny kids would come in and we could open up those screens and show them that stained glass. It was just a welcoming thing for the kids. They felt very much a part of that huge, important project. So thank you for that. And finally, Colin and the choir. Every Youth Sunday, for some reason, I pick a song it's hard to find the music for the song. He always gives me such a hard time because I give him the wrong music every year. This isn't the right music, Susan. And I never picked anything from the hymnal. So, and the choir supports our kids during the Christmas pageant and during Youth Sunday. I so appreciate that, all the work and time you do. Everyone in the choir. So, thanks to everyone for being part of our village this year. If you're interested in helping out next year, there's sign-up sheets during coffee hour on a table. There's coffee sheets near the art exhibit. So thanks so much. Lana. See ya too.
And please, let's give a wonderful round of applause for Miss Susan and the wonderful program that she creates every year. We truly appreciate you. And in the spirit of shining a light, the gift to you, Miss Susan, is that we're going to make you a custom stained glass piece that you get to help design, and then it's just going to be special just for you in your home so that you can see the light that we all feel you deserve. So please join me in the words to carry with us found in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. So I encourage you to go forth from this place feeling that bit of youth that still is inside you, that remembers and reminds you of who you truly are. Because these were once the rest of us. And those little parts of ourselves have not forgotten who we are, even though sometimes we ourselves do. So I encourage you at some point during this week to ask that small child inside you to remind you who you are. Find a quiet moment and ask. It will answer you, and it will probably scold you for waiting so long. Go forth and be exceedingly well. Amen.